Hello, lovely ones. This is Teresa Graham coming at you from Destination Mountaintop. Guess what? We made it the whole 12 days. Well, we counting 12, but actually, I slept through one, but that was excusable because I had a migraine all day. So we're not going to count that one. Plus, I made it up 7 and 8. 7 and 8. But we made it through. We are here on Christmas Eve. God bless each and every one of you. I thank each and every one of you who have watched. You may not have left a like, a love, a comment, but you watched. And I thank you for your support. I thank you for even listening to this old lady sitting in Ingram Courts putting out these videos, just giving what I know to give from my heart, and you watch. And I thank you for it. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I don't do this for money. I don't do this for clout. Um, I just do this because I love doing it and I want to make a difference. I not only want to make a difference with the videos, but I'm also coming out of my reclusiveness and actually getting out in the community. Got some exciting things coming up that I'm going to be bringing that I want you guys to support. And but when I bring it up, I got one brother I really want you guys to support on Texas side. But when I present that, I want to present it correctly because I want you to have all the news about this brother. He is doing some wonderful work over there. And even if you're on Arkansas, he's still helping you. He just all people from all around, and he's just a wonderful guy. And I'm going to present that one day next week. I'm just gonna just keep putting out videos and putting out lives and presenting stuff that can help us to change our life. But on this last day, New Year's Eve, many people celebrate this as Christ's birthday, but we know according to the Jewish calendar and other calendars, this is not the exact date that Christ was born, but it's the day we recognize and we celebrate. The day that Jesus was born as a man on the earth for us, to change us, to give us change, to give us freedom. And today, excuse me, mm, hiccups and sinuses. On today, as I was getting things done and scrolling through Facebook and other sites, YouTube and stuff, I noticed something. And I want to, and this is going to bring it all home. Everything that we talked about all week on putting things off, on picking things up, on who the different, some of the different names of God, on things that need to be changed in the church, some of the things that I see, and I'm not an expert, it's just what I see. And I speak what I see. A lot of people may agree with it, some people may not. But I ain't a liar though. And but I saw a lot of my young brothers and sisters who are trying to do things, trying to get their business started, their careers started, have really been working hard. As I went to different people's lives and different people's timelines and looked up different people on YouTube and other mm, uh, social media sites, what I saw was a lot of young people venting and angry and disappointed and feeling attacked and feeling like they're doing it all on their own and that nobody is supporting them. And even people attacking them and attacking their character and trying to give them bad names. And I looked at each one of these lives and each one of these videos, and It broke my heart. But then as I looked and I'm going around the day doing what I got to do, one thing after another, um, asking God, what is it that you want me to talk about on this last night? What do you want your people to know? What do you want them to know? And I did not get it. I did not get the answer until like maybe a half an hour ago. And I said, okay, Lord, I see you. I see you. And here's what I need you to understand. And I have a question for you as usual. Did you not think, and do you not think that when you tap into your purpose, tap into your destiny, really commit to doing something and making a difference? Because, see, here's the thing, each one of these people, though they have tried to start a business, though they have tried to get into entertainment, though they have tried to everything they tried to do, when you really listen to their stories, and this is why I love stories, um, and if you know anything about our culture, history is passed down through stories. Knowledge is passed down through stories. Storytelling is a important uh, element that we lost, but that is picking back up of our culture and other cultures. The art of being able to tell a story. And this is why stories are so important to me. Because when you listen to a person's story, if you really listen, one thing you'll find out is that at the core of it all, each person that I presented talks about God and talks about how they feel God is directing them and leading them. Some are in church, some are not in church. Because where we've gotten it mixed up at is that the true and living God is not encompassed in a building. He told Peter, upon this rock I build my church. And he was actually talking to Peter, a man, the man that denied him 3 times, the man that cut off somebody's ear because he felt like they were offending Christ, a man full of turmoil, a man full of emotions, a man full of desires. Yet this flawed human being, this flawed man, this man that hid and was ashamed and let him down at the most important time of his life, during the crucifixion, Jesus tapped him. God tapped him and said, upon this rock I build my church. Do you see it? Do you see it? He didn't pick Paul because Paul had not yet come on the scene. He didn't pick any of the 11 disciples, the other 10 disciples, because Judas was already out of there. He chose Peter, which tells me that God, the church, the principles, the precepts are in us. And he said this one thing. He said, the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Now, he didn't say you wouldn't be tempted. He didn't say you wouldn't go through trials. He didn't say you wouldn't be talked about. He didn't say people wouldn't try to destroy you or tear up your character. In fact, he left us a hint in John 10:10. It says, the thief comes not but to steal, kill, and destroy. We all know that. The thief comes not but to kill, steal, and destroy. Yeah, the devil will try to tear you down. But you have to read the other part of the verse because you have semicolons there. When you have semicolons, that means that there's a continuation. It's not a comma, but it's a semicolon, which means that this is a semicolon. So this is not a comma of, yeah, we're continuing the sentence, but that this is a statement. This part of the sentence is a statement that stands all on its own. So we have the first part of the sentence, the thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. Second part, which stands by itself. I come. This is the word of Jesus himself. The red letters. Everything that's in red, those are Jesus' own words. I come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. Now, he's talking to his disciples. He didn't say, I come that you, my little core group, only you, shall have life and have life more abundantly. He said they, speaking about others outside of the core group. Put a pin right there. Put a pin right there. Now, here's what goes on in church. You have the preachers, you have his ministerial staff, and you have his family, and you have the choir director and the lead singers are those who do praise and worship. And in most of our eyes, when we go sit in the house of God, these are the people that God touches. These are the people that God moves through. These are the people who have the inside connection to God. Not so, my friends. Not so. It's the theys that he was concerned about. Us. The ones out there. Us. Even though Satan is going to come and he's going to try to kill you, he's going to try to kill your vision, he's going to try to kill your love, he's going to try to separate you from your family, from your friends, from Christ. He's going to try to take your purpose. He's going to do everything he can to wreak havoc in your life. And oh, don't mess around and tap into your purpose. Did you not think? Did you not think that when you get it? Did you not think that when you get it, he was not going to mess with you? But he said, even though you're going to go through all of this, I come. I came. I was born. I walked. I preached. I did miracles. I died on the cross. I rose again so that the theys may have life and not just existing, not just some little menial life, but have it more abundantly, which means he wants you to be healthy. He wants you to be happy. He wants you to be financially stable. He wants you to experience some things while you're here, walking this earth. He doesn't just want you to be born and exist. He wants you to have life. Now, here's the thing about everybody on social media venting. It's a trick of the enemy. Because what that's supposed to do, instead of it causing people to have empathy for you and to understand what you're going through and to maybe be more supportive and less critical, what it does is it's supposed to mess up your witness. What you're doing to vent and because you're hurt is actually supposed to mess up your witness. And it's supposed to make people say, "Ah, see, I told you she ain't changed. I told you he haven't changed. Oh, they think they all of that. Oh, they went on Miss Teresa's show and but they ain't this and that." No, 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 my friend. We got to go back to Peter. Upon this rock I build my church. Peter the fighter. Peter who cut somebody's ear off. And God put it back on. Jesus put it back on. Healed it instantly. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Peter, I got this thing where I used to say, "Don't mess with me. I'm Peter's sister, twice removed on his mother's side. I will cut you. I will cuss you. I will then turn around and lay hands on you and raise you back from the dead, heal." Because I truly do have the traits of Peter. You get me upset enough, I will cuss you out. You get me upset enough, I ain't gonna cuss you out. I'm just gonna knock the hell out you. You get me upset enough, I will go back to gangster. And I pray about that. I try to deal with my emotions. I try to deal with my humanity. But it makes us human. You have those who are in the church that will try to push your buttons to make you go off so they can say, "Aha, I told you what they weren't." But these are the ones, we are the ones who God loves. And you know why? Because we have a pure heart. We heard him and we're trying to obey and do what he would have us to do. So, this is my thing. I told a friend of mine, I said, when you look at the people in the New Testament who God did miracles for, and that he saved, and that he healed, and that he brought back from the dead, that he healed the issue of blood, these people, they all have one thing in common. They were desperate. They were desperate. And they didn't walk around with the attitude of Martin Luther King. We shall overcome. We're going to be passive. They walked around with the attitude of Malcolm X. By any means necessary. Whatever I had to do to get this touch, whatever I had to do. Oh, see, last night I talked about how I sought. I didn't know what I wanted. I couldn't put it to words. I couldn't put it to words, but I searched and I searched and I searched and I went to Bible studies and I went to churches and I went to revivals and I soaked up the word, soaked up the word, soaked up the word. I would lock myself in my room, only coming out to cook for my kids and to clean up and study and make charts. And I had file cabinets full of information. Okay, so this is didn't that is that. Didn't have computers and stuff. I had pencils and coloring paper and rulers and making charts and making this and trying to understand something. And then I got a word processor so I could type it out. And then I got a computer. Sat it there, me and Bridget hooked it up. Okay, how do we turn this thing on? And I was up all night learning up all day learning the different things. And when I go to bed at night, I teach her what I learned, and she'd be up all night doing it. But I was thirsty. I was hungry. I was desperate. But I didn't know what I was desperate for. And God was using me mightily. But the church said, God, don't do that. Why would he use you? God don't speak to people like that. Yet everything that I put my hands to, God let it grow. But Satan came to sift me and to kill, to steal, and to destroy. Then I came out to church and I found that God back again. And now that I have that back in my heart again, now that I've regained the God that taught me himself, the God that I heard myself, I hold on to it like a pit bull. I'm desperate about it. I got God back kicking, screaming, crying, cussing. I don't understand this, Lord. Why would you? How could you? But you think I'm supposed to, and then you cussing, crying, angry, confrontational. But I was desperate. I was desperate. And now I let nothing stand in my way. I don't get embarrassed. If I get mad and I go off, I don't let that shut me down. This is what I got to tell you tonight. Don't you dare let anybody and anything knock you off your course. The harder Satan fights you, you better come to your mind and say, wait a minute now. If he fight me this hard, and if I'm getting this much flack, it got to be something to this. What are you seeing that I'm missing? Because you're not even seeing the whole picture. You're not even seeing who you are. You're not even seeing the threat that you are. I am in no way At 61 years old, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what direction this is going in. I don't know what my total purpose is, but I know one thing. I was put on this earth to be an encourager. Y'all gonna walk with me because I smell the oven. I was put on this earth to be an encourager. I was put on this earth to give people knowledge. I was put on this earth with the gift to tell stories. I was put on this earth to help people birth their dreams. I do know that. I know that much. I know that much. But I take this thing day by day. The people who have tried to uh, tear up my character, the people who have tried to make me look bad and uh, say all manner of evil against me when I've never done a thing to them. The preachers who have talked about me like a dog in this city and don't think I know it. And some have done it openly. I've sat in church. I've sat in church and had preachers without calling my name talk about me like a dog. And I knew they was talking about me. And anybody with sense knew they was talking about me. And then have somebody ask me at the church, well, what did you do to them? Not a thing. And I still smiled. And I keep moving. The more they try to destroy me, and I'm like, what is it? You got a whole church, educated. They got their own families, cars, doing good. I'm a little old lady living over here in the courts, living off a Social Security check, making videos, don't know what the heck I'm doing. What is it? And then one day, I said to myself, what it is they see something about me that I don't see about myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep moving like I'm moving. I'm going to keep listening to God like I listen to God. And then in the end, what's going to happen is I'm going to discover the me that they see and that they're threatened by. Hear what I'm saying? These people who so mad at you, this devil who trying to destroy you, they see something about you, something about your anointing, something about your shine that you don't even see. And it makes them threatened and hate you. So you gonna tell me you gonna sit up and you gonna let these people and you gonna let this devil that's is really not them. What it is your spirit upsets their spirit. I can't help it if God says this is how this should be done and I speak it. I can't help it because I believe that word and those things that are in that word. I can't help it that I read the whole Bible and not just the parts that I can manipulate people to do what I want done. I can't help it that Bible said, I came that they may have life and they may have it more abundantly. And I believe that. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Who's the they? If it ain't the 12, who's the they? Well, the 12 is automatically included, but who is the they? Who? Okay, so you telling me he come to steal, kill, and destroy. But I came. Remember the semicolons. So we're going to put that by itself. We're going to put that by itself. I came that they may have life. And they may, I think that they, no, I know that they is me, you, and every other true believer in God. So if he came for the theys, that means that the shine on you that sets you apart because you are they. You can't help it because God love you. You can't help it because you are they. You can't help it because you believe on God. You really believe. You can't help that. Now, all these people that got a problem with you, from now on, what you do is if it comes up in your face, you tell them, baby, I don't know what your issue is, and I ain't gonna lose no sleep about it. But sound like you and God need to have a talk about it. Take it up with him. Because it ain't nothing I'm doing at all. It's all God. Y'all know what? I believe so much that when it looks like a door is opening up for me, and I don't get excited now when people say, "Oh, the Lord told me to do this with you, and the Lord told me to do that with you." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." I get excited about it. I'm excited because it's, looks like it's the answer to prayers and look like it's the answer to, things that I want and want to do. And anytime that it comes to doing the work of God or doing something that I think is going to make a difference, I get excited about it. And here's what I get excited about. I just be excited because the person actually saw in me that I would be able to, or they believe I would be able to accomplish a thing. But I don't get too excited because here's what I know is that once that person tells 2 or 3 people that, oh, Teresa Graham, and I talked with her and she's going to be working with me, I know that soon the tongues are going to start wagging. Now, here's the thing. I don't know what people are saying about me. And nobody will never repeat it to me. All I know is it's being said, and then the person backs off, and suddenly they don't want to really, they're not excited anymore and don't want to work with me. But here's how I look at that. I don't even get upset about that anymore because the different doors that are opening up and the different things that people are approaching me with, this is how I look at it. And you got to change your point of view, your perception on things. Now, when something happens, I say, you know what? If it doesn't happen, I'm still praising God because guess what? In the past, that opportunity would have never came about and that person would have never tapped me. So if it doesn't happen, I thank God because I know that it's coming and he's showing me things to come. He's showing me things to come. Think about it. When people start approaching you that would never have approached you and asking you to do things, now you know you can do it, but you get a little intimidated because these things they're asking you to do, you don't have the degrees, you don't have the this, you don't have the that, and you got a felony on your record too. But yet, because of you, they're like, this lady can get this done. And for them to see that in me is such a blessing. It's such, instead of it being, I don't lose encouragement because the person um, stopped calling or stopped texting or backs all the way up. That doesn't even phase me anymore. I don't even sit around and say, oh Lord, what did I do? No, I don't. What I say is, Lord, I thank you. I thank you and I praise you because it must be something about me. Look at the change. Look at the difference in the caliber of people that are coming into my life. Look at the doors and what you're doing to open doors up for me. I thank you. And see, here's the thing. When you have God on your side, what people don't realize is when God is on your side, He gonna bless you in spite of them, in spite of their setups, in spite of their attitudes, in spite of their gossip, in spite of their jacked up feelings, in spite of them talk. God will bless you openly in spite of them, and people will look and you know what they're gonna say. It it had to be God. Because look at how I'm open about my life. I'm open about the things I've been through in my life. I'm open about my past. But look at me now. And all that is God on my, don't you bet not. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare throw in that towel. The harder it get, the more you fight and you stand up. You pull on the God of strength. You pull on God your helper. You pull on God your shield. The harder it gets, you know that you're that much closer to that breakthrough, that much closer to your destiny. And don't you dare give up. So what? You got on the live and you cussed and you vented. You were being human. Peter did it too. But God said, on this rock I build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. You are the days that the gates of hell won't prevail against. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare stop fighting. Fight. Be desperate. Fight. No matter what it takes. Your desperateness pulls at God's heart strings. Be desperate. Oh, we want to make it cute. Oh, have a spirit of expectation. Nah, nigga, be desperate. Go street on a nigga. Oh, heck no. I'm fighting for mine. Y'all, I need you. I need you to put a hole in that roof because I got to get in there no matter what. Push me up in this tree. Oh, I gotta crawl through this crowd if I can touch the hem of his garment. Y'all don't hear me. Be desperate. Yeah, God, son of man, do you hear me? Don't worry about what the neighbors think. Be desperate and watch him show up and show out for you. Don't you dare drop out of school. Don't you dare quit that job. Don't you dare shut your business down. If you need to take a little vacation to regroup, but don't you dare throw the towel in. The devil is a liar. All right, Lord, I know you told me this and I'm doing this, but I need you. Something's going wrong. Oh, the devil's coming to steal, kill, and destroy. But your word, start saying his word right back to him. Repeat his word to him. You said in your word that you came that they may have life and they may have it more abundantly. I'm a they, Lord. I'm a they. I don't care if you got to cry, cuss, roll in the flow. You better be like them Africans. They go to the prayer mountain and they roll and they holler and they throw dirt and they go to get the answer from God. Let your living room flow. Let your bed be your prayer mountain. Sometimes all you can do is just roll. You ain't got the words. But you have to tell yourself, change your perspective on how you looking at things. Instead of poor me that everybody's beating up and everybody's against and everybody's trying to set up, you better start looking at things as, wait a minute now, what's going on here? If all this is going on, what are they really seeing? They seeing something I don't even see. And it's scaring them to death. It is scaring them to death. They can't work with you because they can't get close to you because God have already told them, you better leave her alone. See, because he calls me daughter. I didn't have a father. My father didn't want me. I had a stepdaddy. But then when he finally did marry somebody else, he damn near forgot us. Now let me tell the truth about it. And I remember me and my older sister going to his house. And he married a woman and had a bunch of kids, then had kids by her with their daddy. You ain't got to do nothing for me and Vicky. We know we ain't yours, but don't ignore Carol and Steve. So as far as a daddy go, daddy was my daddy. But then when we got to be teenagers and daddy met Chris and married Chris, he forgot about us. It was all about Chris and her kids. So my God became, and I don't know when I realized that he called me daughter. But see, you got to understand, he called me by the name he knew I needed to hear. But I didn't even realize that he called me. He don't call me Teresa. He don't call me Terry. When I hear God call me, he calls me daughter. So he know that I needed a father. Something that jacked me up my whole life. Daughter, look here. They seeing something that you don't see yet. Wait a minute. I know you don't understand it. I know you don't understand it. I know you can't even see it. You don't even, when people give you compliments, you don't even know how to take it because you don't see yourself like that. But daughter, I got something for you here. I never forget when the pastor, we had a little baby church over in Newtown. And he put a little old pastor over it that wasn't ready. So I'd end up going over there, end up teaching the Bible studies. Now I was doing Bible study in my house and it was growing. But I told the folks, well, y'all come to Bible study over here at the church because I'm helping out with the church. They got disappointed. They got hurt. It stopped. But guess what? Now those same people who were in that Bible study, they have so much respect for me and they would tell a person, if I need to really get a prayer through, if I really need some help, this is who I come to. This is who is in my mind. Okay? Now, The little pastor run off. So for almost a year, guess who was the pastor of that church? I was. Wasn't ready, but I was. And oh Lord, if ain't anything hard, I don't get I don't aspire to be a pastor. It's hard work. When you go home at the church and eat and relax, I go home and I'm praying, trying to see what God wants the people to hear on Wednesday. When you go home on Wednesday, I'm up trying to see what the Lord got for Sunday. When you're asleep, I'm up praying. I'm up answering phone calls. I'm up going to check on my members. And my members was like me, they was poor. So I took my van and I was the bus driver, the van driver, picking up everybody, taking them home. And I worked myself until I came down with double pneumonia and in the hospital for 14 days. But I never forget, and that's why I say I don't go by titles because all of a sudden he decides that, well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna uh give you your papers and I'm gonna install you as pastor. And he called, I'm not going to call the woman's name because y'all all know her. But he called her over there to preach that night and to help install me as pastor of the church and to give me my minister's license or elder's license or whatever you want to call it. I called my aunt and my uncle James and they came. That night, y'all, I tried to get dressed. I never been a suit person or I love dresses and I love comfortable things, but I've never been, even when I wore hats and gloves and things like that in California, I didn't wear suits. I wore dresses, beautiful dresses, and hats and gloves. And I went with a guy, and that's how he wanted me to dress for church. And we have matching stuff every Sunday. So I had to have this black suit. It was hot, summertime. I was still big back then. I was sweating, couldn't get it together all day long. Go to the church, and it's time to open up the service and do praise and worship. I'm nervous, I can't get it together. He comes up and snatches the microphone out my hand and starts to praise and worship. It was like everything happened that night was a blur. It was an out of body experience. And after she preached and stuff, and he goes to ordain me and stuff, this woman got that microphone and said, God is not calling you to be a pastor of a church. You are not qualified. She never said what God told me to be. But I'm standing there and I'm listening to her. But you know, I told you God talks in his ear. And the Lord told me, say, she's saying everything that he told her to say. You know, when people hate you and when people are jealous of you, they will do anything to destroy you. Now you gotta understand, this man, it was all wrong because I was in the midst of in a full blown affair with him. And one of the reasons that he sent me over there is because it kept me out of everybody's eyesight. Because everybody was so mad over there at the church because they just knew we was having an affair, but nobody could prove it. Well, it kind of backfired because what ended up happening was that the little church started growing and I started getting members. And people started inviting me to come preach at their churches. That wasn't supposed to happen. But now you got to understand, during this time, I'm still in full blown low self esteem, feeling like I ain't nothing, still clutched by my past, still feeling the sting of my past, a person not ready at all. Then on top of that, one of the ladies, um, I tried to be a pastor to her and a friend to her and help her and encourage her. And this lady went back and lied on me and said that I said this and I said that, and it hurt me so bad because he fussed and cussed and told me what I wasn't. And then she had the nerve to come sit up at church and smile on that Sunday. And there was nothing that I could do. I couldn't confront her. I couldn't. Anything that I did would have made it look like it was real. But God showed me then people will literally make up a lie about you because they want to be you. They want to be in what they consider the place you're in, not knowing and realizing that you're in a place where you are totally feel like taking your own life. But because you wear wigs, and because you wear makeup, and because you keep a smile on your face, they think they want what you are and don't know that you don't even know what you are. Oh, back then I wasn't nothing but a walking wound. But because of this pastor and everybody thinking I want to be in her position, I went, oh, then the church started growing. See, it backfired. Now all of the people want to try to ease over there now. Now, here's the problem. My church was growing, but it was all poor people. And the offerings weren't nothing. But the little building we had, the lady let us have it for free. It was her husband's church, and he had been dead for years. She let us have it for free. Only thing we had to pay was the utilities. I'm like, I'm not going to tell these people that they got to pay this amount of money and that amount of money and raise special offerings to put in your pocket. These are baby Christians. Everybody at my church was new converts who loved the Lord, and they loved me. Except that one lady who was a member at the other church and decided she wanted to be over there. Now, certainly, because it's people, and when the night that he decided to do the ordination, they come and the little church is packed. Now you got the ministers and elders and things over there. They want to know, well, why is she over there and not me? I would preach over there, but nobody wanted the church because it didn't have fame, it didn't have clout, it didn't have but 3-4 members. Now we up to members. But they poor, but they love God. Now I'm saying all of this to tell you and show you how people see you, but they don't realize how you see yourself. You are incomplete. You are still in the making process. You have not got to that point to where God has finally showed you not who you are, but who you are to Him, and gave you that confidence to where, okay, I still don't know, but oh, do I have confidence in God? Don't you quit. That's what I'm leaving you with on this 12th night. And I'm going to keep doing these videos and doing lives. Don't you quit. Don't you give up. Remember that the second part of that sentence says, I came that they may have life and life more abundantly. You are the they. With that, see, I could keep on and on and on, but we almost at an hour. Merry Christmas. I love you, lovely ones. I hope that something I said blessed your heart. I'm going to go back and look at this video and hope that you were able to hear what I said. As always, faith, belief, forward motion. Remember whose you are and who you are. And if you don't know who you are, ask God to show you. Bye-bye, y'all. Enjoy your day tomorrow. Be careful.